Hello, I'm Trevor Lunstra, and I did my presentation topic over The Last Battle, which is the final installation of the Chronicles of Narnia series, written by C.S. Lewis, otherwise known as Jack Lewis, who, by the way, was born Irish and then moved to England as a small child, I believe. This book was published in 1956. Just gotta tell you a little bit about C.S. Lewis here. He was a really big theology nut. You've probably heard of his interactions with John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, the author of Lord of the Rings, and how there was a pub that they'd always meet in. I don't remember what town it was, but they would always meet in a certain pub, and they would discuss their theology and their fantasy, and they would often intertwine the two, and you see that a lot in their literature. You also see that C.S. Lewis is a bit of a philosopher. He says that we are what we believe we are. Maybe that explains a lot about the way we do things. So what happens in The Last Battle exactly that makes it such a huge deal? Well, for starters, it starts with two Narnian animals. The witty ape named Shift and the ass, who's not really all that bright, named Puzzle, when they stir up some crazy trouble. You see here that it shows Puzzle and Shift, and Puzzle is dressed as a lion. It's because Shift took a lion skin that he found, and while he was doing his sneaky work, he made it so that Puzzle could wear it. And he definitely had a plan for this. Oh, really? This is also a picture of Shift. This was actually in the Last Battle as an official illustration. When he dresses, the reason why he dressed him up is so that they could extort Narnia. And what I mean by that is, if you paid attention to the picture before, you notice that he was in a fancy robe and a goofy paper crown, and that is because, well, frankly, Shift is a bit of a narcissist and all he wants is power. And so all those nuts that he's eaten are from the squirrels that they were enslaving through fear that, oh, maybe this is Aslan, as he claimed. He claimed that Puzzle, dressed in the hide, was Aslan. And this made them into a gold mine. And the squirrels aren't the only ones who were enslaved. They enslaved all sorts of other creatures. Shift claimed himself to be the herald of Aslan, the mouth of Aslan, and he decided to sell the labor of the Narnians into slave labor for their enemies, the Calormenes, who are kind of a Easterling kind of people, more Arabic in the way they do things. And we see King Tirian, who is on the very left. He is the current king of Narnia, the seventh son of King Rilian, who you see in the silver chair. And Tirian and his friend Jewel, the unicorn, are not too happy about it. So they take up arms and go and try to find out what's going on when they hear that supposed Aslan has come back. This leads to a huge conflict between them and the Calormenes when they find out that Narnians are being enslaved by them. You see the other people here, the other 7 heroes that are dressed all fancy in this picture. Those are the friends of Narnia. Those are the children that come back from the old days of the other books. Even Polly and Diggory from The Magician's Nephew. I couldn't tell you exactly which ones are which, but if I were to take a guess, I would say that High King Peter is the one with the big bushy beard, and that would be Lucy and Edmund next to him. So that probably means that Eustace and Jill are the ones in the gray tunic and the blue dress, which probably means Diggory and Polly are on the far right. That's just what I'm assuming, since it's the High Kings and Queen, plus their relatives. You know. Pretty much, it breaks out into total war between Calormene and Narnia. Tyrion gets captured, and he assembles a force from the dwarves that were also sold into Calormene slave labor, and they make it back to a tower in Narnia. And they go into an all-out war. This war winds up completely and totally demolishing the fabric of reality in Narnia. And to put it in few words, the world literally collapses in on itself. Nature is gone. There's nothing left. And you will understand how this relates to Revelation, to the book of Revelation in the Bible, if you just look at it, from different standpoints. If you read it and look at the theology that C.S. Lewis entwines with his fantasy, it is a dramatic ending to Narnia, and I would highly recommend you read it. Now, going to go back to the numbers. Here we have, the order of events from the Magician's Nephew to the Last Battle, from creation to Revelation. And then we have the order of publication, in case you wanted to hear about that, plus a little bit of wise words from C.S. Lewis. You see, from 1950 to 1956, C.S. Lewis worked hard on this for over 7 years, getting this whole franchise together. And that's pretty good for 7 years. I wasn't entirely certain how to put all the answers and everything smoothly and cleanly into the presentation. So in order to get the questions, and trust me, it's a really simple survey, as you'll see by the results of the questions. But if you want to take another look at the questionnaire, here's a hyperlink to it just below the first dotted point. And if you want to travel to that, you'll be able to look at all the questions you need. Here's the survey outcomes, and that is Jewel right there, that background picture. You can tell that it was really quite a simple book to understand. Questions weren't too hard. The material wasn't that difficult. It's okay. And if you're a fan of 3D pie charts like me, because I love pie, here's another example, just to show you the overwhelming odds from the correct to incorrect ratio. It was really quite simple. And that's about it. Here's some works cited, a bunch of URLs to find where I found the pictures and information apart from the book itself. And this is an official citation for the C.S. Lewis quotes, because I do not want to plagiarize. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. That's the Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. Have a great day.